Today, I wanted to talk about seasonal support because it's the middle of winter. It's just going to get colder. It's just going to get snifflier. And so having a, what's the word that I'm looking for? Having a dream team of essential oils that you can just go to, you know the ones that you're going to use, you know what works, you don't even have to think about it when the sniffles show up. I think that's really important. When you get sick, when you're not feeling good, it's so hard to get your brain to think through what is a new thing that I could do that would really help me here, right? You just think, oh, I feel terrible. And the only thing that your brain can think is like Advil or cold medicine. And I don't want you to have to do that. And I don't want you to have to just suppress symptoms when you could be supporting your body's natural healing process. So if you see behind me, this is not where I usually am. This is the only place in my apartment that still has like stuff on the wall. We are moving at the end of the month. So there's a lot of excitement and chaos going on in our household right now. And so I thought what I would do is just, rather than trying to create this really polished thing for you guys, just go live, just give you some real life scenario stuff based on not all of the possible oils that I could talk about, but literally what I have, because we have packed up everything. Everything is in my new studio. And so there are some oils I could talk to you about, but I don't have them. And that's really cool, because what that means is that I'm talking to you about the oils that I'm using on a regular basis, the oils that I kept out because they're the most important to me, right? And so I actually have a real life scenario to talk about. We went down to Birmingham for the holidays, and Alan was not feeling well. Both of us are allergic to dust, and there's been dust everywhere. And so our sinuses were compromised, our lungs were compromised, and our immune system was down, just fighting all of the dust and whatnot that's in the air as we've been cleaning our apartment and packing and moving things around. So he got a cold. He's almost never sick. And so it was inconvenient. But also he needed to get well really quickly. And he usually likes to take nothing, not even supplements, nothing, just let his body fight it out. But because we had to go visit my family, we didn't want to get them sick. He let me do all of my essential oils on him, give them to just say, take this. And I was taking them too, just to make sure that we were supporting our body's natural healing process. And I was able to not get sick. Nobody else in the family got sick, and he got better very quickly. So I just love that you can use essential oils instead of medication. You're not having to, you're not even like suppressing symptoms. You're still going to feel like crap, right? But you are just allowing your body to do its natural process, giving it the support that it needs. And that is the beauty of essential oils, that they are not medication, that they're a support system for our body's beautiful way that it is made, right? So what I decided to do today was just run through, what did we use? What did I already have with me, because I carry it all the time? And so what were we able to put to use for him to help him out? So this is my little essential oil carrying bag. I actually have two, but this is the one that goes with me literally everywhere. It's in my backpack. This stays in my backpack with me all the time. So if I go to a cafe and I work, if I'm going back and forth between the house and the studio, always have this. Now, I'm going to show you a couple things quickly that are always in here, because for me, they keep me above the line of wellness. So there's two particular ones, and I talk about these a lot. You may not need this for seasonal support, but because I wanted to show you everything that's in my go-to bag. So Endoflex and Valor. And these are the two essential oils that I first started using when I discovered Young Living Essential Oils. Dawn, who is in this group, helped me to discover how oils could support my thyroid, and it's literally changed my life. But so Endoflex helps me to keep my hormones supported, to keep a balance going. And for me, that is key to not having, to not being off and having my body having to deal with thyroid, and therefore then I get sick because my body is already dealing with this other thing. So every day, Endoflex, every day. And then Valor is really an overall wellness. It's fantastic for the skeletal system support, but also just for overall health. So I do both of those every day. But let's get into, if you're starting to feel, you know, a little bit sickish or a little bit icky, what would you use, and what did I use in the scenario where we were traveling and all I had was what I had with me? So first things first, was that, now the funny thing is, the only one I don't have in here, which of course you know I have to talk about, is thieves, because I actually gave that to Alan and now he has it in his bag, because I was having him put a drop under his tongue every, I don't know, few hours, as often as I could get him to, because that is the classic blend for immune support, right? So the thieves he was doing under his tongue. I had him also do a drop of clove under his tongue. Now you'll notice this is not the Vitality bottle. This does come in a Vitality. But if you're putting it right here under your tongue and just letting it soak in, that's actually not internal use. It's actually sublingual. It is still topical use. It's just going into the bloodstream right here under your tongue, which makes it very quick to all of these lymph nodes, which makes it very quick into the bloodstream. So that's why when you take like sublingual vitamin B, it goes into your bloodstream very quickly and gives you energy very quickly. So that's a great spot for putting in essential oil that you really want to absorb quickly. Clove is spicy. So you're going to feel spicy. You're going to feel maybe numbing. So it's actually fantastic if you have pain in this area, because it gets that tingly feeling that can really help you to not be feeling all that the pain so much. But clove has the highest ORAC value of any, I believe it's substance, but definitely of any of the essential oils. So ORAC, look that up if you want to know what that means, because I want to make sure I'm not saying anything the FDA doesn't want me to say. But clove under the tongue, sublingually, if you have, really just for some immune support, but especially if something is going on around here. I used to get throat infections all the time, thyroid things, what do you call these? Tonsillitis, strep, all the not fun things. And clove is really, really great for just this whole area, supporting your body, allowing your body to have what it needs to take care of the healing process itself. So I had him doing thieves under the tongue and clove under the tongue, kind of switching them out, right? So not both at the same time, because they are very spicy, but having them just one at a time, so that he could just boost what was happening in this area, okay? So those were kind of the main ones. But then for myself, because I didn't want to get sick, I was doing a couple of things that I usually do, but doing them more often. So lemon and orange oil, I brought both of these with me. I usually do one or the other a day, but I put a drop of each in my water. Pretend these are the Vitality blend. Those are the Vitality oils. Those are the ones that are labeled for internal consumption. But you can put the Vitality in water, 1 drop each, and just drink that down in the morning. You can actually also rub it on your tummy or rub it on your throat. Lemon is fantastic for your liver, which has the detoxifying job of the body. So I also, when I'm not eating as healthily, need more liver gallbladder support. So that was why I had the lemon with me. But having lemon and orange in your water, it does a couple of things. It is kind of helps to clarify the body based on supporting the liver, but also, very importantly, it creates an environment that the nasty germs don't like. It creates an environment within the body that doesn't make them happy. So it's supporting your body's ability to usher them out. And if you are to, same thing, put them under your tongue and get them in this area, they're fantastic for tooth health and oral health, because they're creating an environment that is not friendly to bacteria, and therefore you're supporting what's going on in here. So if you've got the sniffles and it's just nasty all up in here, doing the same thing sublingually under the tongue can be a great way to use the citrus oils. Okay, next thing, let's talk about breath support. So as I mentioned, we had had a lot of dust going everywhere because we're moving. And so I was amazed, honestly. This is just like such a gratitude thing, because I was so excited that I didn't get sick, that I was able to breathe. I used to take asthma medicine all the time, no matter what. And if you get me in a dust situation, forget about it, like asthma medicine all day long. And I was fine. That was just made me so happy, filled me with so much joy I can't even express to you. But in order to support my lungs, in order to make sure that they were able to keep processing through all of this dust that was going on, I was doing a lot of lung support. When you go through that respiratory phase that you get with a cold, then you want to especially support that, getting that stuff out, having it not just sit there for days, right? So very quickly, 3 options are the breathe away, okay? So this is a roller ball, and just on the chest, on the throat, wherever you're feeling the extra pressure. So what's in here, just so you know: eucalyptus, rosehip, peppermint, a third type of eucalyptus, balsam, blue cypress, myrtle, and so all of the eucalyptus, and then some other great stuff. So we all know what eucalyptus is for. It's for opening the lungs and supporting breathing, okay? So this just is so super simple because it is a roller ball, so you can roll it right on. My other 2 go-tos, okay? Rabbit is related to eucalyptus, and I don't know exactly, the cousin structure of that, but it is also very awakening and opening. And so if I actually have this with me because I like to use it when I'm meditating, but I was able to not always be using the same thing, switch it up a little bit and use this as well as a support for breathing. And then the third one, peppermint. Okay, so I love peppermint oil. It's fantastic for digestion, so rubbing on your stomach. It's the same situation where you're eating a lot of stuff you shouldn't be eating at Christmas time, but it is fantastic also for opening up the entire sinus cavity and opening up the lungs. So I will take a drop of peppermint and I will put it right under my nose. It's very, very strong, right? It's a very opening sensation. So you may want to mix it with some carrier oil. I like to do oils neat, but I don't recommend that to everybody if you have more sensitive skin or more sensitive nose or whatnot. But I just like to put it right here, and then I just breathe in, and then it just opens everything up, and it is amazing for those purposes. Also, right here along your cheekbones, if you are more of a sinus seasonal support person, right? And lavender, lemon, peppermint is the classic trio, but I usually just like to go straight to peppermint, and that works really well for me. Then I got 2 oils left to show you. Digest, because I knew I was going to be in the middle of the Christmas season eating a lot of stuff I wouldn't normally eat, and I don't want to put pressure on my system by having trouble digesting the food I'm eating. So daily, I was rubbing this on my tummy and sublingual, like wake up in the morning, put a drop under my tongue. It doesn't taste good, but it's totally worth it. And that would get your body going. And then after a meal, rub it on my tummy so that I'm getting topical support. So if you have like queasiness when you get sick, this would be a good one to try, or peppermint on your tummy. But also if you're just wanting to, into January, start improving your digestion overall and not have that dragging your body down, then Digest is really the go-to, the first one to do. And then finally, this is more of an overall kind of protecting your environment sort of a scenario. Hand purifier by Thieves. I don't travel without it. Like I said, this bag goes with me to coffee shops, back and forth from work, anytime we travel, because generally I like to just wash my hands, but sometimes camping, or sometimes you've traveled on the subway system and now you're starving and you want to eat a snack, and the last thing you want to do is put subway germs in your mouth, right? If you're a New Yorker. So having the Thieves hand sanitizer, which doesn't have all the weird gross stuff that is in normal hand sanitizer, this I would use, and this I would have Alan use before, you know, he shakes people's hands and things of that nature. And then lastly, sage. Now, I love burning sage. I love having the sage smoke to purify the air. But because it's not always a scenario where I can bring a lighter and a sage bundle, and it's also not always appropriate, say in somebody else's house, you don't want to smell up the whole house with sage oil. But I can take this and I can put it on myself at least to clarify what's happening around me. But also if you have a diffuser, so like in my studio, right, I don't really want to burn a lot of stuff. I don't want to smell up the entire everywhere else everybody's working. I can diffuse sage oil and I can cleanse the air that's in my immediate environment without having it so overpowering for everybody else in the building. And that is fantastic for the whole dust situation that I had going on. But it's also fantastic if you've got all the sticky germs going on, because what this does is it interacts with positive ions, latches onto them, and helps to remove them from the air that is around you. So look that up. How does sage work? How does sage smudging work? I actually have a lot of videos on YouTube as well. But that is what came in this bag that I happened to have with me when we were traveling, because I like to be prepared, that allowed me to support my system to keep from getting sick, allowed me to help Alan to support his body's healing mechanism. And it was just a real life scenario for what do you do in the middle of this winter season. And so you don't have to have all of those. If you wanted to have one of each, I would recommend, for ease of use, Breathe Again. I would recommend, for all the multi-purposeness, Lemon. And I would recommend, let me see what else. I mean, you got to have Peppermint, because that's also great for head tension. And then I would say, in terms of just getting over, the sniffles and whatnot, that Thieves or Clove, if you tend to have more like throat and mouth related issues. If you just had these four, Clove, Peppermint, Lemon, Breathe Again. Oh, that's upside down. Breathe Again. And then some hand sanitizer, and you kept that in a bag and you brought that with you everywhere in the wintertime, you would be set. You would be supported. And that would just really help you to beautifully fly through winter above the line of wellness. So I hope that helps. It was fun to be able to show you a real life scenario, and not just like all of the oils that you could use, but what are the ones that are really working for me in my life in specific. So I hope that's helpful, guys. Ask any questions that you have, but just make sure that it's not about, well, how do I cure something? Or how do I, kill germs, or how do I do any of those things? Because we want to talk about supporting, because essential oils are a support system. They're not like medication. So ask me any questions that you have in a support manner, and I will try my best to answer those. If I don't know the answer, then I'll find out the answer for you. So if you have anything particular that you want to learn as we head into a new year, drop that in the comments as well, because I would love to know that. Thank you guys very much. Love you. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and a happy new year. Talk to you later.